Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So we got an update from the CTO at Ledger, guys, Charles Grimet. Update on the NPM attack. The attack fortunately failed with almost no victims. It began with a phishing email from a fake NPM support domain that stole credentials and gave the attackers access to publish malicious package updates. So for those of you guys who are wondering if it was safe to send cryptocurrency from your Ledger Nano or maybe another hot wallet or cold storage wallet, apparently they have now fended off this attack. The injected code targeted web crypto activity, hooking into Ethereum, Solana, and other chains to hijack transactions. The attackers' mistakes caused crashes in the pipelines, which led to early detection. Still, this is a clear reminder, though, that if your funds sit in a software wallet or on an exchange, you're one code execution away from losing everything. Supply chain compromises remain a powerful malware delivery vector, and we're also seeing more targeted attacks emerge. Make sure you keep your cryptocurrency on a cold wallet storage solution. This is generally the safest option for cryptocurrency storage. I want to remind you, too, that this is the CTO at Ledger, and I personally use the Ledger Nano. I do have an affiliate link in the description of the video if you guys are interested in purchasing a Ledger Nano. You can use my affiliate. You don't have to use it. I'm not putting it there for the kickback necessarily. I mean, obviously, it is much appreciated if you do purchase through my affiliate, but just to give you guys a clear example here of why it is very, very, very important to keep your crypto safe. These types of hacks are happening more and more frequently. So, even if you don't want to use the Ledger Nano, I've been using it since 2017 and I've never had a problem. But, pick something else. Even if you don't want the Ledger Nano, pick something else. Make sure you keep your crypto safe, guys. So just wanted to bring up that public service announcement. Another one here from the Wrath of Kahneman. Two interesting facts with regards to this new partnership. Ripple payment user credit, UniCredit, just partnered with another Ripple partner, BNP Paribas, for securities custody. And BNP Paribas uses Ripple custody already for their crypto custody. So both sides of the partnership are tied to Ripple, in one payments and the other in custody. Another dual Ripple partnership coming together. The partnership comes as UniCredit continues to internalize its security services, creating over 200 new jobs in the process. So UniCredit, which is the first Ripple partner, they just signed a custody service partnership deal with the Paris headquarters banking group BNP Paribas, the second Ripple partner here, and they're also working with UK wealth tech and FNZ, to develop a new cloud-based post-trade securities platform. BNP Paribas Security Services will now serve as custody service partner for UniCredit in Italy, Germany, and Luxembourg. This new agreement supersedes UniCredit's long-standing contract with Société Générale Security Services, which had provided custody, settlement, and market data management services for its operations in Italy since September 2006. And the contract was extended to 2017, and now, guys, expected to go to 2026. Meanwhile, CESIS, a subsidiary of Crédit Agricole, which I believe is another partner connected to Ripple, has been supporting UniCredit's product tier unit in Germany with securities processing and custodial services since 2007. The selection of BNP Paribas to replace these two former agreements, though, follows a strategic review by an Italian banking group of its outsourcing contracts, leading to an announcement in January to bring its back office activities for security services in-house. So it looks as though they want to really streamline the process. And of course, if you're already connected to Ripple through many different partnerships, guys, it's the one-stop shop. So it's going to be, a good solution for, I think, a lot of these companies that want to work together. A further 60 roles will be created in Italy, while 25 additional positions have come available within the bank's digital team across Italy, Germany, and Poland. UniCredit says a cross-functional project team is already working on the transition, and we are fully committed to harmonizing and simplifying our setup across UniCredit to provide a more secure, flexible, and cost-efficient foundation for the delivery of custody services, enabling our clients to be more agile and impactful in their execution. So they are stating this, as Wrath of Kahneman does say, both being Ripple partners, so likely both going to be using the technology there through RippleNet. Here's just another article. That's the more recent article. But with regards to the original partnership, BNP Paribas Security Services to develop digital asset custody capabilities through partnerships with Medico and Fireblocks. This came back in July of 2022. So just to demonstrate that the partnership has already been secured, wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman for posting that. Digital asset by bringing this to our attention, guys. XRP now weighted at 14%. So, guys, it's just getting stronger and stronger. XRP demand from institutions is becoming more and more prominent. Now we're seeing one XRP, as at the time of this recording, trading for about $2.90 Where is it at now? $2.97, right in there. So we're seeing this shift, guys, a new trend to the upside. Of course, we do need to get up past certain levels here before we can really say that we're bullish. This former high up here, of course, that was former all-time high, roughly former all-time high from back in 2018, and then the new all-time high. So we got this new all-time high. I'm hoping we can get up past that new all-time high with conviction. That is, I think, what many people want to see in the space. And for more information on how I'm treating this bull market, because I don't know, are we going to see the real world utility? Are we only going to get to $5, $6, $7, or could we get to double digits, triple digits? Our fate has still yet to be determined, guys. It's going to depend on many different factors. And, for my up-to-date assessment, you can follow me over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. It is only $5 a month. I've rolled back prices, but you got to subscribe and stay subscribed to lock into that $5 subscription. So we're seeing, many different factors, bullish tailwinds really supporting XRP price in the moment. And so, when we talk about the weighted average of some of these crypto baskets, some of these indexes, XRP is now weighted at 14% according to Digital Asset Buy. In April of 2022, XRP wasn't even on the list. It was because it was mired in a lawsuit by the SEC. You're going to see a lot of those Bitcoin and Ethereum numbers come down more and more. So guys, lock in. This is from Bloomberg Galaxy Crypto Index. This is from August 2025, so just from last month, target weights. Right now, Bitcoin is currently weighted, and Ethereum as well, both weighted at 35%, whereas XRP coming in second at 14.1%, almost 14.2%. So that's followed by Solana, Cardano, the Sui Network, Chainlink, Avalanche, Litecoin, Stellar, and Bitcoin Cash. So those are all just around 1%. And XRP number 3, but like Digital Asset Buy does say here, I think Bitcoin weight is going to stay, but Ethereum, that's a bit of a wild card, I want to say. The other thing that he does point out here that I think is super important to note, that back in 2022, this was not even ranked, and you guys can see that in there. There's no prior percentage for XRP, whereas Solana was ranked higher, Cardano was ranked higher, even the Sui network and all these other cryptocurrencies were all ranked higher. But now, guys, XRP is taking up 14%, just over 14%, coming in at number 3. So, this means something. This isn't just by coincidence. This isn't just by chance. Digital Asset Investor also did point out these index constituent weights here from April of 2022. So giving us some more, some more numbers here just with regards to this particular product. And then he does give a link down here. So interesting. It is a massive shift. And I do think everybody is ready to invest in XRP. Institutions, retail is also talking about XRP. This is why we're seeing a lot of the Bitcoin maxi hate now for XRP, because it is becoming so threatening, At the end of the day, when FOMO comes in, when people who don't know what they're doing come into the market, what they do is they take a look at this list and they think to themselves, and this is a scenario, this is a real situation that I myself found myself in back in 2017. You look at Bitcoin, you think, okay, that's too expensive for me. You even look at Ethereum, and even at that time, Ethereum was double digits. I was like, that's a little expensive. But then you look at XRP and you think to yourself, okay, I can maybe do that. I can own a bunch of them. And at that time, you think, okay, maybe XRP is going to get up to the same price as Bitcoin. So you think, okay, if I can invest and get more coins, more bang for my buck, then I'm going to be doing well moving forward. And so that's how I started in this market. But then, eventually just learning so much about Ripple and XRP obviously has taken it to a whole other level. Anyway, I think, it is important to note, though, that now we are actually seeing these weighted numbers become higher based on real metrics, based on what institutions are now seeing for XRP. Boy, it has been a long time. I've been in this space now for 7 years. It has been a long time. Wanted to thank Digital Asset Buy for pointing that out. Ripple's partner Finastra has just done another deal, unlocking access to 11,000 banks, guys. This is what's essentially going to integrate SWIFT, according to FX leaders down here. So Ripple integration with Finastra, we know Finastra has been a long-time Ripple partner, grants access to 11,000 financial institutions connected via SWIFT. Currently, Finastra's payment hub handles around $5 trillion in cross-border transactions daily and connects with many institutions. A large part of SWIFT's member banks, though, could immediately reach RippleNet through an indirect route via the middleware. Okay, so Finastra, that is the back-end integration company that integrates the software. They're a global payments company trusted by thousands of banks. They've just publicly made available documents showing their hub can process payments through an alternative channel such as RippleNet or Swift messaging. And Swift says here that they've not outright rejected blockchain in 2025. It conducted pilots with the XRP ledger. These tests explored how tokenized settlement might enhance data richness and speed. SWIFT underpins trust and dispute resolution amongst 11,000 institutions. Any major rerouting of bank liquidity to public token rails requires custodial models, settlement, finality, and regulatory approval that banks and regulators accept. The infrastructure enabling Ripple to connect token rails and traditional messaging systems is progressing both technically and practically without forcing banks to abandon SWIFT. A Finastra integration offers Ripple a viable route to tens of thousands to bank endpoints. So I never thought we would see, this kind of a route for Ripple to gain Swift's business. I don't know if you guys remember, but just a few months ago, Brad Garlinghouse did say that Ripple is on track to take up to 14% of Swift's business by the year 2030. If you guys didn't catch that video, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. And so with this Finastra integration, it is likely we're going to see a RippleNet connection to 11,000 banks, basically all the banks that Swift does connect to. So that's some great news. And then we have this, guys, another interesting observation. Right after Gemini issues their XRP card, NASDAQ is set to invest $50 million into Gemini. Things that make you go, is it a coincidence? I don't know. Gemini, the cryptocurrency exchange founded by Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, has secured NASDAQ as a strategic investor ahead of their initial public offering. Well, you remember, Ripple did also contribute to this when they said that they were going to IPO. Ripple did, they did have a connection to the deal, brokering it in stablecoin. NASDAQ plans to invest $50 million in the crypto company. Gemini will become a distribution partner for NASDAQ's trade management system known as Calypso. The investment, first reported by Reuters early Tuesday, is separate from Gemini's planned initial public offering this week. Okay, so the crypto company plans to raise up to $317 million Friday in its public offering debut on the NASDAQ. So this is a different thing altogether. And then there's a statement here. They're preparing for future developments, obviously, while maintaining an open ecosystem approach to market infrastructure. So guys, I think NASDAQ does realize how important this is. And the connection to Ripple and XRP, I got to say, is also part of this. Remember, just yesterday, I did report on this. And if you guys didn't catch that video, I'll link it up here. What I reported was this: NASDAQ makes a push to launch trading of tokenized securities. And just to reiterate why this is important, okay, the NASDAQ proposes trading tokenized tied to stocks and ETPs. If approved, the move would mark its first instance of tokenized security trading on U.S. exchanges. And the NASDAQ files this proposal days after the SEC agenda adds crypto trading rules. So the NASDAQ has been looking at this, has been, eyeing this potential for a very long time. Remember, tokenized assets. And for example, on the XRP ledger, there are already companies that are clamoring to do this. Ondo Finance being one of them. Archax has has a partnership with Ripple as well. So they're going to be running on the XRP ledger. They've already committed to that, and now the NASDAQ wants to get in on this. So it is an interesting coincidence that NASDAQ is investing the $50 million and the Gemini Ripple connection too. Not to mention, guys, NASDAQ has been quietly bullish on XRP. This was a video I did just a few months ago. This was from June 2025. I want to play you guys a little bit of this, talking about XRP joining the NASDAQ NCIUS. Listen to this. More news with regards to the NASDAQ. Apparently, XRP has just joined the NASDAQ Crypto Index. Now it's officially part of NASDAQ's Crypto US Settlement Price Index. And so maybe some people were thinking that this was the reason XRP was pumping yesterday. XRP is at the center of investors' attention after its inclusion in the prestigious NASDAQ Crypto US Settlement Price Index, or the NCIUS. The altcoin showed sustained growth, reaching a peak of 229, and since then it's gone even higher than that, as I mentioned earlier. The importance of entering the NASDAQ Crypto Index for XRP. Well, in the week immediately preceding, XRP experienced a rise close to 5%, interrupting a 2-month period, which the price remained stable and without significant variations. Furthermore, trading volume increased and reached $2.8 billion. This data indicates an increase of investor interest who have started to operate with greater intensity on the financial asset. The price and volume movements seem to be correlated with the recent news about the inclusion of XRP in the NASDAQ Crypto Index, suggesting that its presence in the main financial indices is improving the perception of the token in the bull market. Now, I think everything is pumping because Bitcoin is pumping, and I think a lot of these altcoins are just waiting for Bitcoin to get up above its all-time high. So back in June, we have that story, XRP joining NASDAQ's NCIUS. And then, guys, I wanted to bring you this one too. This was an older video that I did 5 years ago from November of 2019. At this time, this was a NASDAQ report that was put out, and it sounded like they were calling XRP a buoyant coin. What does that mean? Well, listen to this. I saw this on Twitter from @XRP Block. That's @XRP Block on Twitter. The NASDAQ acknowledges that crypto assets can replace traditional finance. Now, guys, this is the NASDAQ saying this. Okay, the NASDAQ is in traditional finance as we speak. So, this from a blog post from the NASDAQ, as reported by cryptonews.net. So, the growth of crypto assets in the past few years has been astonishing, so much so that the main behemoths of traditional finance are paying attention. So the NASDAQ has often taken kindly to companies who adopt disruptive technology, and then they go on to list a few of them. I'm just going to go down here, though. So this guy says, dividing the cryptocurrency phrase into two parts. And so let me back up. This was a post by Kieran Hines, and he sees cryptocurrency investing going along the lines of two separate parts, stable coins and something called buoyant coins. Now, stable coins, we know what that's all about, okay? We know that it's a stable cryptocurrency backed by something stable like fiat, and he actually sees a market like that. We look at stable coins as being, well, why would anybody invest in stable coins if they're just going to remain stable? But he sees a market in that, the same way we see a Forex market, right? People trading currencies back and forth depending on how currencies fluctuate in price, right? I think the traditional FX market will just go to stable coins. I think it'll be a lot easier to trade back and forth. There won't be the time delays. In a cryptocurrency ecosystem, it'll be a lot more simple to conduct those transactions. Now, he also talks about buoyant coins, and let me just get into this because it is quite interesting. So he says, from the idea of stable coins, the idea of buoyant coins was born. Here the author is opining on the prospect of a cryptocurrency's claim of being a store of value. Now, hold on for a second. Bitcoin is claiming to be a store of value, but they're not talking about Bitcoin. While the stable digital assets claim is more from a claim of being a medium of exchange. Guys, how would you classify XRP? It sounds to me like it is a medium of exchange. It is going to be a bridge cryptocurrency. People are going to utilize it in real world situations, and the value that we are going to derive from it is going to be directly associated with how much demand there is going to be for XRP. So buoyant coins show lower volatility compared to Bitcoin by changing desired monetary policy techniques within its internal economics. Hence, these coins exhibit a more store of value paradigm as hodlers are motivated to hold the same for long periods of time as the inherent value continues to rise. And so, guys, this is what I think XRP is going to be in the future. If you take spec bull runs out of the question, because in a spec run, all cryptocurrencies just kind of rise to insane new heights when Bitcoin rises to insane new heights. So let's talk a little bit about this slow and steady accumulation of value. And we've talked about this, right? I even think Galgatron has mentioned this in some of his blog postings. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to link this in the description if you guys want to watch further, but essentially the lower volatility, essentially the idea of a buoyant coin, it's not stable, it will remain buoyant. But as the value moves into these particular cryptocurrencies, and remember, this is a NASDAQ report from 2019, it sounds as though they're talking about a medium of exchange, a cryptocurrency that will transfer value. Now you fast forward to NASDAQ investing $50 million into the Winklevoss-funded crypto exchange Gemini, one that we know does have connections to Ripple. And you also see that back earlier this year, XRP was added to the NCIUS. Guys, it's looking to me like it's all making sense. An XRP price right now at just under $3 is a spec market price for XRP, but with real world utility, we will see higher highs. I think, is that going to happen for this particular bull run? Well, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel for my up-to-date assessment of where I think the market's going to go. And for those of you guys interested in maybe supporting the channel in a different way, I also have the Working Money Channel merch store. Every little bit counts, and I appreciate everybody who has been purchasing the Working Money Channel merch. Again, link is in the description of the video. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.